Welcome to one more game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. I'm your host, Matt Brandenberger, along with my traveling. We are in the car on the road. This is my wife, Abby. And if you see a little face poke through behind us, that's Abby's mom. We are pickleball on the road again.
Literally on the road.
Cue the Kenny Rogers music. We are on the road again. A hat tip to our girl, Janine Webster, as well. Abby thinks I just hit a bird. I don't know. They're supposed to move. For my Seinfeld friends out there, we had a deal. I may have just run over a bird. But this is what happens when you do a show on the road. We are literally on our way to a pickleball tournament, to day 3, at least day 3 for us, of the Great Lakes Regional. And it's been crazy. I mean, life be crazy. It's especially crazy because we are trying to get this episode out by tomorrow morning, and we'll probably be playing till late tonight. So hopefully Hopefully Abby will. So I am done. We'll get into some updates in a little bit here, but how you doing, Abs? Good?
Great.
Okay.
So great.
Are you traumatized by that bird I just hit?
I'm still processing
I went right between it. I think it just stayed there, and
okay.
We're good.
Okay.
The bird is fine. Don't let that bird ruin your day. I know you're such a animal lover.
Okay.
So yeah, life has been crazy. We've had a lot of stuff going on. Our girls are actually back home right now with my mom and dad. Swim finals today for them.
City swim.
They're excited about that. We are sad that we had to miss that, but the timing just didn't work out. We actually thought we were going to bring a lot of our girls to this tournament and to see Abby's parents, but with City Swim, they needed to be back home. So besides swim, summer's winding down.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, City Swim's like the end of summer, so now the next couple weeks is school supplies and school shopping and getting haircuts and hairstyles and all of that. So we got a lot to do.
I seriously cannot believe we are at the end of July and
yeah, it's crazy.
School is upon us. So
yeah.
Anything else going on in the world of the Brandenbergers? I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yes.
I don't even know if we can get into all of it, or this would turn into a 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
And truth be told, we have an hour and 13 minutes until our destination, so it can't be any longer than that.
Yeah.
So
let's get into it.
So we are, like I said, on our way to the Great Lakes Regional. We have played 2 tournaments in a row. So part of our episode today, we wanted to just kind of break down each of those tournaments, not just from like how we did, but just from a venue standpoint. Observations
thoughts.
From a amateur standpoint on playing in both the Beer City Open and now the Great Lakes Regional, 2 of the biggest tournaments on our calendar each year.
Yeah, this summer we basically pinpointed the Cincinnati APP, Beer City, and then regionals are like the 3 big tournaments that we've done.
Yep.
This summer.
Yeah.
So
it is always weird for them to, like, they've come and gone. I'm done now. And it's like, Nationals is my next big tournament to look forward to in November, but that's a long ways off now.
Yeah.
It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's start maybe with the Beer City Open. That was last week up in Grand Rapids. Probably, I would say, my favorite tournament of the year.
Yeah, it's just really fun, and I highly recommend anybody trying to sign up for it. Like, you have to be on your computer at 10 a.m., and you may register at 10:03 and you may be put on a wait list. I mean, it's that quick to fill up, but it's worth trying, and it's so fun.
Yeah. So
the venue's beautiful.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to get in to both events, both of us. You fared pretty well. 2 bronze medals. You got on the podium both times.
2 bronze medals, yep.
And I came up a little short in my mixed. I played with Jules, a gal that's from Illinois, and we'd played together in one team event before. Had a great time with her and met a lot of her friends. Again, one of the greatest parts about pickleball is meeting new people. But we had a couple games that slipped away from us and ended up not qualifying, not making it to the medal round. So tough day in mixed, but then rebounded and
You had an epic day.
Epic day in men's. Ended up with silver but battled back through the consolation bracket and found our way back to the guys that we had lost to send us to the back draw, and we beat them in the best of 3, then went to 15. Not to get into all the details of it, but the guy we were playing against got an injury. We bageled him in game 3 to make it to the best of 15, and we're thinking, we got this.
You had all the momentum.
By the way, I used bageled the other day with somebody, and they were like, bageled? What is that? You mean like
a pickleball person?
Yeah. Well, and they said, you mean pickled? And I was like, oh yeah, that too. But I said, we'll say bageled.
Yeah.
So that, for those of you that don't know, that's like 11-0. So we won.
Well, because the 0 is a bagel.
It is. It's a donut. It could be any circular shape. So we ended up going to the game to 15. He's injured. We're like, we got all the momentum, but they rallied. They played great. They dug deep, and they beat us bad in that game to 15. I went back and watched it, and there were some good takeaways, some mistakes that I made. Actually, I watched it before playing this week, and I felt like it gave me some good things to think about heading into this week's play.
But it's just such a reminder that pickleball is just a game of runs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's, I think is it true the higher level you play, the bigger and the runs are? I don't know. I mean, it really seems like that.
For sure.
It feels like that,
we thought we had them figured out. Obviously, they made some adjustments and figured something out against us. So shout out to Louie and Oz. Louie is actually the brother of Andrea Coop.
She's the tournament director.
She's a tournament director, pickleball pro, and loved battling with those guys. We messaged back and forth a little bit as well this past week, and Josh Walker, my partner, and I would love to set something up with them again just to play. We had some great battles back and forth. We went to 3 games in our first matchup, and then again battled again. So we played a total of 7 games against them, which is crazy to think about. So so that was Beer City. Then this week has been the Great Lakes Regional.
On.
Well, we're going to compare and contrast, but let's give results first.
Right.
Oh, you want to talk about your results? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
We did. For the record, we got an email. I need you to know this.
I was just thinking that. If she's listening, she's like, case and point.
We got an email.
What was your name?
Ingrid?
I think so, yes. Ingrid. I'm sorry, Ingrid. I'm trying. I'm a work in progress.
She was like, feedback. You guys never let Abby talk. And she has some good things to say.
In fairness.
You talk over her and you interrupt her.
In fairness, I'm pretty sure she was talking about the episode where Randy Coleman was on, and I didn't get a word in edgewise either. So, please, come on. Ingrid, have some grace. Okay, but again,
Give us another shot.
Okay, but she just did, and then she just turned it off.
She was like, I will be moving on.
I am done. Okay, go ahead. Your results. Abby, I would love to hear about your results.
I'll make it quicker.
Okay.
Josh and I did great. We got bronze. I had a couple takeaways. I had so much fun playing with Josh. Here's a couple takeaways. Well, I'll give you one.
Josh Walker, same partner I had.
Yeah.
We shared him.
Great. But we were down. So obviously with rain delays, they change the formats all the time. So our medal match was, we were playing for bronze, and it was 1 game to 15. We were down 3-13. Is that right? 3-13. And I was like, I was a disaster. So, anyways, there was a moment.
I think it's even 14-5 then.
I don't know. It was something. Anyways, I was like, we're coming back now. And honestly, we made a run. We took it to 11-14.
I said on the feed, it's going
to take a miracle.
It's going to take a miracle. And the miracle started until...
Did. So here's what happened. So I'm on the right side because we're stacking. It's 11-14. I attempt a backhand Ernie. Probably not the time for it. I swear to you it was there. Didn't work out. I am still like, I just missed an Ernie. I go back to the right side.
And it was after an epic point, wasn't it?
Epic point.
Like everybody was like, and kind of there was a buzz around it as well. So nobody caught this.
Nobody. Well, Ryan knew.
He did.
Yeah. So I go back. I go back to the right side. They serve it to me. Fault. Game over. Wrong receiver.
Ugh.
So final score is 15-11. I am really proud of our comeback. So I can't be mad. They were a really good team. I mean, they deserved it. They end up winning gold, so good for them. And
it was a little soul crushing.
Yeah, but even yesterday playing, there was a moment where I forgot we had 11. I thought we had 10. Sorry, I'm the worst. And anyways, we were in the wrong spot, but we did catch it in time that time. So, I mean, it's just, sometimes if my mind is on something else, I'm not thinking about the score. It's not intentional.
I mean, you say it's a mental game. It's a mental game in so many, even before the point starts, it's a mental game. Making sure you're in the right spot. Yeah. And it's a game of attrition. And then after a long day like that, man, it's hard to stay focused.
Yeah, that was my takeaway of really we were making a run, and I'm proud of us for that. So
you guys were right there.
I'm not mad at bronze. It was a great competition. I mean, it was high level. So
it was.
Then I played 4-5 the next day with my friend Steph Troyer, and we got bronze. I mean, we played great. So that was really fun.
And that was in fairness, you've played in a couple 4-5s. It was not your first, but I think that might have been Steph's first. She's played in a couple as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But at that high of a level.
Right, at that big of a tournament.
Big of a tournament at Beer City.
Yeah, I mean, so that was good.
Good on you. Way to go. Yeah. All right, so let's talk results then this week.
Okay.
This will be incomplete because you are yet to play your women's. It's today. We both withdrew from singles because we're old and our bodies are frail and we didn't want to hurt ourselves, which I think was the right decision. I did say this morning, because men's singles is today, I was like, man, I feel pretty good. Maybe I should have played singles, but I'll tell you what, tomorrow morning when I wake up and I feel good, I will be thankful that I did not play singles because it would have wrecked me.
Probably.
So I played in men's on Friday. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yep.
With Jeff Coyle. So last week we shared Josh Walker. I played with him and Abby played with him in mixed. And this week it was Jeff Coyle's turn. What a blessing to get the Brandon Burgers.
It's like a 2-for-1 deal.
We say that facetiously. You have to put up with us. So I think people take turns,
dealing with us.
Yeah, paying their pens. So we did have a good time. Jeff and I played really well. Some of the best pickleball I think that both of us have played.
Just got into
a groove. Yep, we were playing 4-5, and I don't even remember details of it. It was round robin, so we lost one game in round robin, and then came back and played the team. So the top two teams the top four then made the tournament or the playoff. And so we won our first game pretty easily. Was that right? I can't even remember how that semifinal went. And made it back to the final to face the guys that had beat us.
And this was a best 2 out of 3.
And this is now, so everything had been like to 15, and now this one was a best 2 out of 3 to 11. And first game, we are down 8-2. It's not looking good. We take a timeout, kind of regrouped, and found our groove. Well, to go back, when we played these guys the first time, we had been up like 11-5, like really in control, and kind of let them back into it. So we felt like we had their number if we just played our game. So then that was frustrating to come back and playing the next time and be down 8-2. But we found something during that timeout, got some momentum, came all the way back and beat them 11-9. Is that right?
Yeah. Or
12-10. I can't remember if they got one or two more, but that was soul crushing. Like, you talk about soul crushing.
Yeah.
The two guys we were playing,
they were in their 60s.
In fairness, they were in their 60s. They were playing down in the 40s age bracket, I think due to work schedules. And they were 5-0 plus duper players. I mean, they were very good players. But my guy, OB, just ran out of gas.
If you see him, like, you can go to our Hoosier Pickleball Facebook page, and you can see this guy. I'm like, he needs, like, a doctor. Like, it was like 100 degrees, and he was, I mean...
He could hardly stand up at the end. Like, so here is the sin nature in me.
Oh, my goodness.
This is awful.
You're a terrible person.
If I would have done this, I'd be a terrible person. Just for thinking it does not make me a terrible person. Okay. I had Zane Navratil in my mind because if you saw the Nasty Nelson he did at Beer City to end a match, poor OB is like hunched over at the end of our last game.
It's like you're at 10, aren't you? Or
yeah, I think we were at Literally at 10, yeah. And he's not
It's like
even
10
paying.
too.
He's not even paying attention. They call
No,
this.
straight.
Oh, I'm sorry. They call the score. Pickleball on the road, baby. They call the score, and he's not even looking.
He's hands on his knees.
I could have just lobbed a ball at him, and for a second I thought about doing it, and then I'm like, no, that would be the biggest jerk move ever.
Yeah, I'm glad you
I
did
didn't.
it.
I'm thankful to report.
Served it out and won the
I
game,
did, yeah.
so gold.
So
There
yeah,
you
we did win gold, and then yesterday played with Karen Higgins, who's from the Indianapolis area. Have seen her play before, had never actually stepped on a court with her until yesterday, so kind of a blind date. We know her women's partner, Elena Keller, pretty well, and Elena and I had talked about playing a few times. Didn't work out this time, but she said, well, Karen's looking for a partner, so but it was great. Karen played unbelievable.
She's very good.
In our first warm-up, we played Abby and Coyle, and we struggled. They beat us pretty good. Second game, I think we eked out a win. And then when it got time, so those were the first two games we really played at all. And then when it came time for the tournament, we went undefeated yesterday. I think the most anybody scored on us was 5.
Yeah.
Now, full disclosure, we were playing at 4-0.
Yeah.
Because we were kind of back and forth, thinking a bigger tournament, this competition might be a little stronger. And since this is our first time playing together, in retrospect, I wish we would have played 4-5, to be honest. She played great. We gelled together. I will tell this quick story about it. I think I told her at one point, I said, if you know my game, I'm kind of wild and crazy, and I'm always jumping around, going for a ball that maybe I shouldn't. And Abby's learned this. Abby's still, I don't even know if Abby's learned this as well as Karen did yesterday in like 3 games. But I said, I'll know that we've like meshed together and gelled if when you see me jump for a ball that I think I can get to and then realize that I can't, and you still are able to play that ball, then we're money. And there was like one at the beginning where I kind of jumped and she's like, oh, I thought you were going to get it. And I was like, yeah, I just realized it was too far. I think that's what I said. I said, oh yeah, I was. And then I wasn't. So, but then there were 3 or 4 times and some pretty epic points where I was kind of hugging more middle and coming and then just kind of withdrew, but she still got the ball back, and that was awesome. So big shout out to Karen.
Yeah.
That was,
you guys did great.
Had a great time playing with her, and we played great and won gold.
There you go. Yeah, we were playing at the same time, so I didn't get to see. I only got to see your gold medal match.
And I only got to see your gold medal match.
Coyle and I did not lose the entire day.
Wow, did Brandenburg went undefeated yesterday?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
And Coyle.
Just now.
Oh, wait. He wasn't.
Well,
Anyways.
He's only one person.
Yeah. So, yeah, but your gold medal match, the score was 15-4.
Yeah.
Our gold medal match was 15-3.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you were keeping track.
Anyway.
Yeah, but you guys played great.
Played fine.
Yeah, it just was fun.
I mean, yeah, we did also play 4-0. So,
yeah.
I mean, we should probably be done with 4-0.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think that it matters, like bigger tournaments, smaller tournaments, hard to know sometimes. So thinking these last 2 tournaments were kind of bigger ones, and this was a qualifier, so you kind of figure a lot of people are going to try to play down. This gets you a ticket to Pictona to play in the National Amateur Championship,
which can take you to nationals. So
right. So you figure a lot of people are, and there were people playing down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
like us. But
yeah, I'm with you. 4-5 is minimum. I think there's some tournaments I'd rather play 5-0 at, or as high as possible. We want to be challenged. We want to get better, and we are. It's fun to see that progress. I mean, to feel like we are improving to the point where 4-0 competition yesterday, even at a big tournament, was pretty. We did well. All right, should we take a quick break?
Yeah.
Catch our breath. Make sure we're going in the right direction.
Okay.
And we'll be right back right after this.
Parents, your teen driver or soon-to-be driver looks to you for guidance on safe driving techniques.
Drive Alive is an organization dedicated to young driver safety. Visit our website at drivealiveindiana.org to view videos designed to facilitate conversations between parents and their teen drivers.
Topics include getting to know your vehicle, understanding car insurance, simple car maintenance, and what to do if you just had an accident.
Visit drivealiveindiana.org to learn more. All right, welcome back to One More Game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. I'm your host, Matt Brandenberger, alongside my wife, Abigail. So, Abs, we're talking about the two tournaments we just are finishing up these last 2 weekends, Beer City Open and the Great Lakes Regional down in, we didn't say where that's at, it's in Cincinnati at the Sawyer Point, which is right on the river, like stone's throw from all the stadiums there in downtown Cincinnati. So kind of just to compare those, first of all, the venues. What do you like?
Well, yeah, Beer City just really has it dialed in, I think. I would say I think their food truck should be there longer.
And more choices? More choices
of food truck, but I'm not complaining. It was still great. They've got the fencing in between each court. The Sawyer Point, even for the APP Cincinnati,
yeah,
there's balls rolling everywhere. So
because it's 12 courts on two sides, so there's a barrier fence that tennis nets that block both sides. But yeah,
there's always balls everywhere.
Balls are rolling everywhere.
It's fine. It is what it is.
In terms of the atmosphere, though, I love that downtown Cincy. I've never been like a huge Cincinnati fan. I've always kind of, sorry to my Cincy friends or listeners, I've always kind of viewed it as kind of a dirty city. But you know what? I think that
they've done a good job.
Yeah, kind of like Fort Wayne has been revitalized in the last, X amount of years. I feel like it really has a nice feel to it. We were walking around, went out to dinner several times. I do like.
They have a lot of good restaurants.
Yeah. Hit out several of those over the past few nights. So, venue, different. The courts themselves would agree, Beer City. The setting, I would give the edge to
Cincinnati.
To Sawyer Point.
But Beer City has some pros, which is really fun.
I do love that.
Have a pro kind of tap me on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me," as he's on his way to a gold medal match. And I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
Sorry, Zane.
Sorry, I think it was Dylan. Sorry, Dylan.
That is cool. I'm not like a huge fanboy or anything, but at the same time,
it's fun to be.
Absolutely, just to be kind of rubbing elbows with them, the players, unlike a PPA event or something like that, where they're kind of off isolated.
You have to pay to see them.
Right.
You have to pay like the $25 stadium fee or whatever.
It's like they're just right there. You're watching them on the court next to you. So that is
really
cool.
fun.
I do enjoy having the pros there. So no pros at the Diamond Regional Amateur.
That makes sense.
So give the edge to Beer City on that one. Yeah,
and really overall too, in terms of our last 3 tournaments, APP Cincinnati, Beer City, and now regionals, rain delays are a big thing. We've had rain at all 3 tournaments, so all 3 tournaments had to adjust. So you go in thinking you're going to play, 2, best out of 3, and then it switches to 1 game to 15, then it switches to 1 game to 11, then it switches back. It's fine. It's the Midwest.
Right.
In the summer, you've got to deal with rain delays. And everybo's dealing with it. It's just not fun.
It's not fun. And especially, I will say, at Beer City, they were, it's kind of technically a PPA event.
It was sponsored by.
I don't know exactly what the connection was, but they had a couple of those really nice dryers
blowers,
that actually sucked the water off the court, and then they could empty it, and so they could dry the courts. It felt like a lot quicker.
The sun came out.
Yeah, that helps. And it was super humid down here in Cincinnati, which does not help. So the rain delays seem to be a little bit longer around here this week.
Yeah.
But we've talked about it a little bit. I think it's more and more heading towards pickleball, especially at the higher levels, is an indoor sport.
Yeah,
and as much as you can play it indoors.
I'm ready. Matt, I even told you yesterday, I don't think we're agreeing with me. I was like, I'm done with outdoor tournaments. And you were like, that's excessive.
Yeah, I do. I love the outdoor tournaments, but big ones when
there's tickets on the line. There's golden tickets on the line.
And we'll talk about format here in a second, but yeah, I mean, it's like if you need to have kind of the guarantees to keep everything as normal as possible.
Yeah.
And there's just too many
And it's-
factors that go in. So here's my plug for Ace Pickleball coming to Fort
Yeah.
Wayne next year. Let's get the regionals
And I mean,
back in Fort Wayne.
all of us are traveling. We got places to go. We got to get home. We, we're like not getting home till 11:30 at night, and people are, having to go to work the next. I don't know, just things like that. It's like,
Yep.
if you can get your tournament done, you can get your gameplay done, and yeah. Did you want to talk about the medal rounds?
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say we need to talk to our guys, Scott Howard, and TK, and see if we can start working on getting the regional back to Fort Wayne.
Yeah, that'd be
Ace
amazing.
Pickleball is going to be the state-of-the-art place, largest facility east of Mississippi, right in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Indoors.
It's gonna be where it's at.
Let's do it. Come on, Scotty boy. Let's get it going. What else? Yeah, talk about just kind of the...
Well, and listen, it's a hard job to be a tournament director, so this isn't like feedback.
Well, before we get to that, I first want to talk about the format itself.
Yeah.
Because we're trying two totally different formats. Beer City
was a double elimination.
Is a double elimination tournament. So do you like that better, or do you like the round robin aspects?
I like round robin
because
I paid a lot of money. I like to be guaranteed 5, 6, 7 games. Like
today, no faith in your game. No faith that you're going to go 2 and out.
You know what? I have been 2 and out before, and it is not fun.
Right.
And I have paid $100 to go 2 and out.
Yeah.
And so I know I have faith in my game, but I would rather. I'm going to spend that much money. Like today, I should play. Even without a medal round, I should play 7 games. Yeah. It's a round robin, and I'm excited about that.
So somebody smarter than me needs to figure this out, but my only caveat to that is I hate the 3-way tie and it coming down to points. And actually yesterday, the team that we ended up facing, we thought there was a 3-way tie, and the team that we viewed as probably the strongest team in the other pool lost out from making the gold medal match because of 1 point. Like 1 point, that could be a missed line call. That could be just you're up 11-1, or you're up 10-1, and you just kind of throw away a couple points. I mean, that's why in round robin you don't take any points for granted.
Yeah.
You don't try new things. You try to annihilate every team you play in, which I don't really love. Like it almost encourages you to be even more cutthroat than.
I know. I did feel really bad because my opponent and I went to the scorer's table to report the score.
Yeah.
And he reported the score as 11-7, and I said, I'm gonna sound like a jerk, but it was 11-5. But points matter right now.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
But I don't like being that person.
Right.
Because who cares?
No, I agree.
But I was like, it matters today, so I'm sorry.
Sure. Yeah. So format overall, I do love the round robin. Now, I will say I didn't love also that we had 7 people in our round robin. Like, take the top 2 from our pool, and the other pool had 6, and have a playoff. It was like...
Well, I'm sure this has happened somewhere before. I've just never seen it. So they took the top 2 teams out of each pool to play for gold, and the second 2 teams to play for bronze.
I mean, I've seen that before.
I had never played in that though.
And
it's usually a playoff.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was changed because of the rain delay.
And that's okay. Yeah. It is what it is.
But again, that goes back to if you can have a format set up ahead of time, people know what they're paying for, and it stays the same because it's indoors, then that's I would rather see.
It just stinks to know you're going in to play for bronze because gold and silver are the qualifiers for the Pictona.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if I'm just playing for bronze, it's not getting me anywhere. I don't know that I care.
Right.
I know that sounds bad.
Right. Well, and it is interesting that top 2 qualify, because there was even an instance of one team that I heard that they got second or they got into the gold medal match, and they're like, we're not even going to play it because we got our golden ticket, and they had an injury on their team that somebody was kind of fighting through, and they're just like, we'll just take silver because we got our golden ticket anyways. Yeah. So I don't know.
Whatever.
There's no perfect system. I do like the round robin though, with the guarantee to play more games. But I also like the backdraw and all of that. Yeah. And so it's kind of like one of those things where I like both. So I'd like to have different options for different tournaments.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of want to make sure that we are clear with the tournament directors, Dawn Horan, I say it right? Sorry. Dawn H. Horan. I'm having trouble
Don't worry
saying
about it. Just
Horan.
move on.
I think it's Horan. Sorry. Dawn was the director, Ryan Kearns, the co-director. They did a great job through all of the stuff that they had to deal with.
Right. It's just, listen, when it's the Midwest and it's the weather, it is what I mean, it's just, so you got to...
Trying to find other venues. I know they moved indoors one day. Another day they went to some courts that were nearby to move some of the pools. But it all worked out in the end. I know they had a lot on their plate. So shout out to them for kind of making it all come together. I know there were some people that were frustrated and upset at different times.
You can't please everybody.
You cannot please everybody.
You're not a taco.
For sure. So, you're not a taco?
I saw that at the restaurant. The Mexican restaurant.
Because tacos please everybody?
Apparently.
I like that. I do like that. We need t-shirts. But yeah, they really did do a good job. And adjusting the formats is always a challenge. Like, you kind of, in retrospect, you say, well, why wasn't our gold medal match like 3-11? Like, we had plenty of time, plenty of courts, but you don't know that at the time. You have to make these decisions. So a lot of grace for them. They did do a great job having it all come together. One more day, so hopefully I'm not jinxing them. Hopefully it doesn't all go to crap today.
Doesn't look like there's any rain coming today, so we should play our games. We should be fine.
Awesome. So yeah, let's talk medals. We got medals at both events. Which medal did you like better between Beer City and the Great Lakes?
Well, I like
regional?
gold. I like gold the best.
So you like the Great Lakes one better?
Yes.
But no, the Beer City medals were really cool this year. They were unique because they were actually like bottle openers. So like a beer bottle opener.
Right. So when I'm wearing my medal all the time, I have a bottle opener with me.
So it's just an excuse for me to wear my medal. Next party I go to, I'm just going to wear my medal around.
Sure.
Oh, I'll get that for you.
Hold on, I got this.
So, yeah. Anything else? I think we talked exhaustively about both those tournaments. But it has been a good couple weeks. I've really enjoyed it. And looking forward to you another gold today.
Hopefully.
I was double gold. You better live up. Otherwise,
we've got a tough pool, though.
You do.
It's tough. Yep. We're going to have to work hard today.
Yep. And your partner is Monica Lemons.
So we'll have fun.
Yeah. She's a great gal. You guys have played together some. Never a tournament, though, right? First tournament you played together.
Yep.
So.
She beat me at regionals last year.
Okay. There you go. Who was her partner?
She beat you at regionals last year.
She did. Oh, man. Forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, she did. That was an epic final as well. I've had some rough, epic finals that I've come in second.
Yeah.
I've also won a few of them as well, just to be fair. All right, we're getting ready to wrap up. We do have a couple more thoughts though, so let's take one more quick break. We'll come back, put a bow on it, and we'll get Abby to her tournament. We'll be right back. Come join the fun at pickleballrocks.com, your trusted authority when it comes to all your pickleball needs. Apparel, paddles, bags, hats, you name it, you'll find it there. Family owned and operated for nearly 15 years.
Matt and I are growth pros for Pickleball Rocks, and for being a loyal listener of the One More Game podcast, we can offer you a 15% discount at checkout when you use the code MATTB15. So head over to pickleballrocks.com and check it out. Let's play.
Welcome back to One More Game, presented by Hoosier Pickleball. We are Pickleball on the road again, on our way to Cincinnati, to Sawyer Point for the final day of the Great Lakes Regional Final. I'm going to be on the video recording Abby doing women's doubles, so I might try my hand at broadcasting a little bit, like pretend like I'm the play-by-play guy.
Do it.
I mean, I did that back in the day, never for pickleball. So
for football.
For football, I did some football.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear your commentation.
That'd be kind of fun. So maybe I'll see if I can find somebody to be like the color. We'll have like a little
back and
podcast.
Forth.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Great
Not
idea.
a podcast, like a broadcast. So
yeah, let's do
see if we can make that happen. So yeah, that will already have happened, but you could go back on our Hoosier Pickleball channel and watch Abby. We'll probably we've started doing that. We're putting our regular matches on Hoosier Pickleball, and then in a championship gold medal medal rounds, we're going to put on our Matt and Abby Facebook page. because we have more friends and family that care about those. But they don't really care about watching our early round play,
No.
I would guess. Only you diehards out there want to watch.
All 2 of you.
All 2 of you. Matt Carpenter and who? Oh, goodness. So, yeah, just kind of to wrap up, one thing I wanted to mention was that I used a new paddle this week. So, in Beer City, I had decided, because one difference that we did not talk about was the difference in balls, which was a big difference. So,
Yes.
in Beer City, they were using the Dura, harder ball, stays hard, even in the heat and humidity. And I used my Selkirk paddle for that. Well, I knew going into the regional that the paddle was going to matter because the ball was going to be a Franklin. And the Franklin X balls are good balls, but in the heat and humidity, they turn into marshmallows. And I knew if with a softer paddle that I had in my Selkirk, that would not go well.
Yeah.
So
That's something to think about too, and just in general. In heat and humidity, the ball, a Franklin, even a Dura gets softer.
Yep.
It does.
Oh, for sure.
It gets softer, and then in humidity, the ball travels slower.
Yep.
And so I went into yesterday thinking, you know what, I'm not going to try to overpower anybody. I'm not a huge power player anyway, but I'm going to focus on placement because I'm not going to be able to hit this ball super hard.
Right.
And so just something to kind of file away in heat and humidity is, work on where you're placing the ball versus just trying to kill it.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me, I want us to kind of talk about a heat and humidity. Maybe that'll be our next episode, is on managing. We've talked about managing wind, but managing heat and humidity.
Yeah.
That might have to be one of our next episodes. We'll talk about that. But yeah, so anyways, I went to this new paddle. I wanted a carbon fiber, something more in like the 14 millimeter range that's going to be a little more poppy. And so I kind of played with a few different ones, tried them out. And I really like this one called Holbrook. So we'll put a link in our show notes. But Holbrook is a paddle company out of Utah, family company. Talked to the guy at Beer City. I got one to try out and absolutely loved it. I wasn't real sure beginning. The first time I really played with it was on Monday, kind of getting ready for this week, and played with it in a few rec games. And then was a little unsure, but when it came time for the tournament and playing with the Franklin this week, I just felt like I got in a groove with it. I loved how it was, it had some pop to it. It was light enough. I was really rolling my backhand well, and just kind of a brand new feel for me. So I'm excited to play with it more.
Yeah, I'll try it out. I just didn't want to try it out
right
now.
I'll also be excited to try a Dura with it. And I really think that depending on what ball you're using, sometimes a paddle makes a difference.
Absolutely.
So I might have a paddle for Duras and a paddle for Franklins. I don't know.
Which is legit,
honestly. Could be. All right. Anything else? We've talked a lot about tournaments this week.
Yeah. What about our announcement?
Yeah. So we should probably talk about that. It is the very end of July, and we have done 40 some odd episodes, coming up on 42. A year here. I think this is 42, yeah. And we have decided that we need to start doing these more on a monthly basis rather than a weekly basis. So beginning in August, sometime in August, we will release our first monthly podcast. So you probably won't hear us next Monday, but on one of the Mondays in August, we'll make sure we put on all of our social stuff. So if you're not following us already on Hoosier Pickleball, on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you're doing that and subscribe to us so you know when those drop.
Yes, please subscribe. And though, it could be big.
Yes. The next one, we might have a very big announcement. Don't know. 100%. We're still kind of trying to figure some stuff out, but there could be a big announcement coming. So you're not going to want to miss the next episode of One More Game. There's a plug for you. There's a cliffhanger for the end of season 1. Yeah. Abs, what do you love?
I said this to Matt several times, but...
Me?
Matt. That's my answer. Yes.
Yes.
Also,
just several times.
One of the things that I love so much about these tournaments, the travel, is everybody, I've said this on the podcast, everybody cheering each other on, staying to watch each other play, and then the past 2 nights going out to eat with all of our friends. I mean, it is nice to win gold, hear me. But I feel like so much of that is just being with our pickleball friends and eating together, and
Yeah, I would totally agree.
I love that.
And meeting new friends, and we've had a lot of fun. Even the last couple of weeks, just of being around some different groups of people through different partnerships we have, people that we don't typically hang out with as much. And I'll also throw in, when we're here, getting to be with your family a little bit, waking up in the morning, seeing that lady and her husband. So yeah, it's been a nice trip, and I kind of had the same thoughts too. Just being together, the two of us, it was nice kind of this weekend not having the kids. So shout out to my parents for watching the girls while we were able to do this. That allowed us, like you said, to kind of go out to eat with friends, just spend time together, not feel like we had to rush back to get back to the kids or anything like that. So that was a really nice weekend. The highlight for me was going to Hopper House in Newport, I guess is technically where it is, right across the line in Kentucky, but it's on the river right there as well. And big German pub, one of my favorite wheat beers that they brew, Hefeweizen.
Hefeweizen
was delicious. Even took a 64-ounce growler home with me, so I am super excited that we got to go there. And we had a huge group. It was like 30 people from Fort Wayne and Indy and all over, all together, just enjoying. Now, I will say the service was a bit slow, but maybe that's strategic. So you just sit there and drink a big old liter. I mean, their mugs are ginormous. I think they are literally a liter. So
I didn't have any.
Yes, Abby drank her water, Diet Coke.
Water.
But we had like a pork belly sandwich or pork belly something. It was really good. It may have taken an hour and a half for it to come out, but it was good. So.
Yep.
All right. That'll do it. There's a deer on the side of the road.
Oh.
And so we ended with killing a bird.
Look, it's a deer.
Now there's a deer. Look, it's a deer. All right. Well, hey, thanks again to all of our listeners for all your support. Abby, good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Bring home that gold.
Okay.
And we will see you next time. Bye-bye. As always, we want to thank our sponsors, Hoosier Pickleball, Indiana Physical Therapy, and Pickleball Rocks. In addition, a big thank you to our production company, Coraggio Media, and the 95.7 WELT studio in beautiful downtown Fort Wayne. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, or find us on YouTube at One More Game Pod. That's the number 1 More Game Pod. Hit that subscribe button and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating to help us spread the word. You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok at Hoosier Pickleball for all kinds of fun, tips, tricks, and other family nonsense, and also some great discussion. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.